So when any, let's say, question is asked about them, any statement as they have been asking, so you should first write about them, at least one paragraph, because you know about them or they have given particular philosophy. So if, let's say, it is a statement of Socrates, so you should write a bit of Socrates, belonging to Greek philosophy, known for founding field of ethics, founder of ethics on the basis of critical thinking. So a bit of, let's say, paragraph you can write, then you can go on writing about the statement. When you write about the statement, so you can even write the meaning of a statement if you are clear on that. The given statement has this meaning, this way, so that you remain to the point. And you explain the terms of the, let's say, statement, like unexamined life. And that should be written in a very basic language, not in a very high standard, let's say that big languages, that big sentences that you use. Because then you will not be able to prove that statement. You will be writing, that is how largely people will do like this. So, this is hitting bullseye, hitting bull, not eyes. This. So, that is. So whether you are exactly writing like unexamined life, right? So that way, let's say that. So you have to understand any given statement, let's say that simple statement that we have taken, an unexamined life is not worth living, it was asked once. Simply you have to write unexamined. First, any ethics belongs with individual. You should start individual rather than this is how becoming macro, talking society, talking blah blah things. Ethics starts with individual. Because ethics is about human conduct. Then it goes to society, it goes to world. That's a different thing. But ethics starts with individual. Because it deals with human conduct. When it deals with human conduct, you should write about human conduct. That any human who has grown, has been growing, so it is expected that whatever he sees around him, and he finds that they are evil, they are bad, they are not good, as per that person rational and critical thinking. So the person should question it. The person should reject it. This. And then you can give examples. If a person has faced any superstition, person should question. If a person has faced in family somebody is taking dowry, the person should question. Or if someone is, let's say, that doing wrong things, the person should stop that person doing wrong thing. So that is how further you should explore your answers. And then you can go on, this is how people have tried to examine their surroundings, and that is how this world itself has evolved from a food gathering society to today fourth industrial revolution, where things have been questioned by people. Even the philosophers also question whether this earth is made up of what, how the earth came into existence, sun is made up of what, water, etc. as matter. This is how people have questioned. So that way you can go to what's that. So your answer should always start with basic aspect. This is what you should write. Similarly, when we say that Mahatma Gandhi, so yes, Mahatma Gandhi you know. So before writing about the statement, you should write a bit of Mahatma Gandhi, at least a paragraph, a small paragraph on Mahatma Gandhi. That Mahatma Gandhi, so he is considered as propagator of values like satyagraha, so truth, adherence, that kind of thing, non-violence. So he is recognized as a global leader. So that way we can say that. Not write history part, the history aspect, rather the philosophy part. So he is also, although he is not known for giving a particular philosophy, but he has given a set of principles which are relevant and followed by people across society. This, and one such is, let's say, talking about human, that his focus remains more on inside of human rather than outside of human. That is building a human personality by self-exploration, looking inside and trying to know, trying to understand, trying to build one's inner personality. And once a person is able to build inner personality, so that person is considered strong. And then you can move on to your further, let's say this, forgiveness. The weak forgive, and here weak and strong you have to write. So which person can be considered weak, which person can be considered strong? That you have to define. The weak person can be in terms of the person who has not emotionally grown up, a person wisdom has not grown up, person moral standard has not grown up, the person who is not morally grown up. So that person can be considered weak because that person will have knee-jerk reactions, or the person would be more reactive or egocentric. Hence, those people who are reactive, not morally grown up, for them revenge becomes more important than forgiveness. But those people who are grown up, they know about human behavior. And they have overcome on their ego. If someone has hurt someone's ego, if a person is grown up and he has overcome on his ego, he may not be hurt by that person. He can even have the ability to forgive that person. So philosophically you have to explain the terms given in the statement. Since these things are predictable, there would be necessarily two questions based on a statement, whether you are prepared on that question. So this, and that is how, let's say, that you should plan in terms of this. And as far as, let's say, that civil service values are concerned, that they ask a question. So every year they have been asking question, let's say, that on this aspect. Anyhow, what I was trying to say that these are the number of philosophies I ended up writing also. So what we were saying, so there we don't have more than that philosophies so far. And so far beyond that questions have not been asked. Rather it is now recurring, repeating. Yes, beyond that, so it can be Indian aspect now. So once they ask Tirkul, they ask, right, they can ask any other literature now. They can ask Vedic literature, Upanishadic literature, Kabir, Guru Nanak. Means it depends how UPSC ask, let's say. That's why we last year also asked Guru Nanak. Anyhow, they went on asking again Vivekananda. So in past it was also predicted that they would ask Vivekananda and Buddha. And the same year in 2020 they asked both. Vivekananda and Buddha together. So now left is called Jainism, but Jainism is not as an individual personality, it is not as popular as, let's say, Gautam Buddha or, let's say, Vivekananda. This. So that could be the, let's say, reasons. If they go beyond that, like say one South Indian literature they ask in terms of values, it means they can ask also other North Indian to balance it. Right? So basically, let's say that they can ask some other literature. It gives message that they can ask other such texts, let's say. Even Gita can be referred, Mahabharata can be referred, Vedas can be referred, and a statement out of that they can ask this. So these things can be the core philosophy which you should prepare on them, their basic concept, right, explanation, any such example, relevance, relating it. You should know the weakness also, what are some of their weaknesses. Like if you know this, you should know also their weakness. And application, you should know also weakness and application. You should know also weakness and application, and also comparison, because once they have asked comparing both also. Right. Once they have asked question comparing both means and ends. Right. It means a competitive question can also be asked. This remains pure, untouched by UPSC. So this is how they can ask question on that. So this we can consider as some of the theoretical aspect. Yes, the statements which are asked by any other leader. A leader does not give philosophy, you know that. Leader is known for, let's say, Nelson Mandela. So he is a leader. He has not given a philosophy. So on Nelson Mandela, you know something, but that is historical. He fought against apartheid, etc. But that may not be appropriate to write when a statement he gives. Or Warren Buffett, once a statement they ask. So what you know except कि he is in, let's say that he has contributed also in Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, or he is a successful businessman. This, if our Abraham Lincoln statement was asked, Abraham Lincoln, you know that he struggled and he became president of US. Right. But as far as philosophy is concerned, you do not know much, or they have not propounded a philosophy. That's why in those statements, it's let's say that good that you should directly write the statement. Right. Directly answer the statement they are asking. Right. Like say in Warren Buffett statement, there were 3 terms. So when you find a statement where terms they use, it's better to explain the terms in brief and then you write. Means to be to the point, rather than addressing holistically, because then we find that people are not able to answer at all the given terms when they try to answer holistically. In general, we can say that if any question they have given 2 to 3 terms, then you try to explain in briefest possible manner the 3 terms and then you write your answer holistically. Don't try to stretch your answer, entire answer in 3 terms. You first write 1 term in 1/3, second term in next third, and let's say that. That way it will become watertight answer and you will not be able to address holistically. No question is trying to seek from your side only this compartment type of answer. It's better that you write first term, a brief explanation, second and third, and then write holistically. When you write holistically, you get more leverage, because then you can analyze and write it. So that approach should be followed, because when we ask some terms, people they try to stretch their entire answer by dividing it into 3 parts. And if statements there are more than 3 terms, 4 and 5 terms, so don't explain them. And if you want to explain them, explain in 1 and 2 lines. That's why you should know precise meanings. Because if 5 terms are given in the question, then you know that what will happen. Writing in 150 words, you will just merely explain the terms. But if you see it since 2013 to present, they have never asked in that way. Even when Mahatma Gandhi, let's say they asked 7 sins, even in that case also they are not asking to write those sins. They are asking you what do you understand by that. Even if a person, so there are 2 ways to write answer. One, you can stretch entire answer into those 7 points. Right. So you will not be able to write beyond that. But that is not a demand of question. It is saying what do you understand by that. So holistically you have to write some essence on that. So that is how you should learn when you get this means statement type of things.
Welcome to LUKMAAN IAS. Study General Studies with LUKMAAN IAS for building comprehensive knowledge. GS paper 2 and 4 will be taken by S. Ansari and other papers will be covered by renowned faculties. Live classes are as effective as offline classes. The classes are highly interactive in nature. Your doubts and queries will be addressed and there will be dictation of notes. In the last 10 years, LUKMAAN IAS has set up a niche in the field of UPSC guidance.